Assalamualaikum and a very good night to all. My name is Ahmad Afiq Aziman Said and I will moderating this live session today. This is Google Arts and Culture Sessions brought to you by the collaboration between GEG Nagoya, GEG Petaling Jaya and IPG Campus Bahasa Melayu. First and foremost, I would like to express my appreciation for the willingness of all the viewers who are present with us tonight. We will listen to a speaker who is known for his capabilities and skills in his fields. May I introduce our invited speaker? His name is Nathan Curtis Gildard. Nate Gildard is an MYP Individuals and Societies DP History teacher and department head at Nagoya International School in Japan, teaching in a one-to-one environment for 22 years. He also uh, an educational technology consultant. So Nate is a Google for Education certified trainer, innovator, GEG leader, Google Earth education expert, and Google partner and YouTube certified, presenting frequently for professional organizations, schools, and Google partners companies. He loves histories and politics, footballs, and travel. With us today also is our host, Madam Mima Saidi Mat Khalid, GEG Petaling Jaya leader and a Google certified innovator and trainer. She is also currently a lecturer in IPG campus Bahasa Melayu. For your information, our sessions are being live streamed in GEG Petaling Jaya YouTube channel. So this session, which is titled Google Arts and Cultures, is a treasure chest of interesting material about the world. So this session will be a demonstrations of the Google Arts and Cultures features in full detail. It will also include how to use Google Arts and Culture with the new Google Classroom Add-ons. So the aim of Google Arts and Culture is to bring the world's artists and cultural institutions online for the whole world to enjoy. So there are museums, images, stories, games, VR, AR, and much more to explore. So we're putting fun into learning. So now, in order to kick off our webinar today, please welcome Madam Mima Saiti Mat Khalid, GEG Petaling Jaya leader and a Google certified innovator and trainer to inform us about the purpose of this webinar.
Okay, thank you, Afiq. I would like to welcome Nate, leader for GEG Nagoya. I'm forever thankful for the time in sharing your valuable knowledge on one of the most interesting Google application. I've been yearning to learn this, and this is the time that I will be able to learn from an expert. Okay, and I think all the pre-service teachers here, we have a few pre-service teachers here, about 35 of them, who are actually visual arts educator. I think they will learn a lot from this session. Okay, so this is actually a part of our yearly activities as a learning partner. The GEG Petaling Jaya is a learning partner for the Institute of Teacher Education Malay Language Campus, Kuala Lumpur. Okay, or we call that as IPG Campus Bahasa Melayu. So it is our mission to seek and find and learn from the experts around the globe as to optimize the use of digital tools. In this case, that would be the Google Workspace for Education. And we have been doing that since 2017. Okay, from the view of the Institute, we are lucky to have GEG Petaling Jaya with us as our continuous learning partner. So we are able to connect more learning partners like Nate from GEG Nagoya, and also with other learning partners from Google Educator groups. And the community is, they are very awesome. They consist of people who are ever ready to share valuable information about Google Workspace for Education. And this time around, most attendees are pre-service teachers who, what I said just now, would be visual arts educators. And we are actually in the middle of carrying out the project Maybe I will talk about the project as we are about to end. It's a small project, but we intend to make it into global participation and collaboration. So, but nothing beats the knowledge of that will be shared by Nate tonight. So let us just listen to him and not wait. So over to you, Nate, but Afiq, you will be your cue.
Thank you to Madam Mima for enlightening our purpose today. So I hope everyone understands the objectives and the visions just shared just now. So the time has come. It is the right time to welcome Nathan Curtis Gildart from GEG Nagoya um, to and giving his the space to share with us about the topic today, which is Google Arts and Culture. Please welcome Mr. Nathan.
Afik and Mima, thank you so much for the warm welcome. It's awesome to be here with everyone. And, I hope the session today, we're looking at about 30 to 40, 45 minutes kind of thing. Please, if you have any questions or comments, or more importantly, ideas that you want to share, please put them in the chat, because I've got my phone going and I'm so impressed already. In 5 minutes, we've got all these comments with people introducing themselves and saying hello. And as Mima said, this is all about sharing ideas and information and that kind of thing. So please put your comments in YouTube. I know Afik is going to interrupt me when it's when it's a good time to answer a question kind of thing. So please participate in the comments on YouTube. And thank you all for joining me. And especially thank you for inviting me to be here. Before I get into the session, I just have to say this. When Mima asked me, like, hey, can you do a session? I was like, oh, yeah, because I think Mima's very cool and has done a lot for our Google Educator Group community in the Asia Pacific region, not only Malaysia. But I've been to Malaysia a bunch of times. I've been to, the first time was in 1997. I went to Georgetown in Penang. And I was in Kuala Lumpur as well. And I've been to Kuala Lumpur like 5 or 6 times. I've been to Malacca. I've been to Kota Kinabalu. And, Malaysia, I love everything about it. The people, the scenery, the culture, the food. So I'm very happy to be here. Thank you very much. So without talking too much about how much I love Malaysia, let's get into the session, right? So I'm going to first share my screen. And I'm not really going to reintroduce myself. Because we already had a nice introduction from Afik. Thank you. And let me just put this out there. Okay, so we are talking Google Arts and Culture. As many people here are teachers of the visual arts, so I hope you do find some things to inspire you. But I will say there are some other things that you may or may not use in your own teaching practice, but share the ideas with other people that teach other subjects. We're talking about the whole world and culture, right? This is what Afik had read a moment ago, so I won't go through the session description. We know why we're here. That's me. I really don't have to go through that again. So I will say, please keep in touch. When we get to the Q&A part or, whatever, I'll share my links with you, or perhaps Mima or Afik will post in the comments. But please reach out to me if you have questions after this session, because I'd love to answer them. Google Arts and Culture, Google in general, or other cool stuff, or if you just have an idea you want to talk about, please reach out to me. So jumping in, why is Google Arts and Culture valuable for teaching and learning? And basically the big thing for me, as I'm wearing my Google Earth t-shirt here, I know you can't see it while I'm using this particular camera. It's about the world. Google Arts and Culture is about sharing different ideas, perspectives, history even. Yes, there is history in Google Arts and Culture about the world, because we are a human society, right? We're all together. We might not have the experience or the opportunity to go to the Taj Mahal, for example, but we can see some really cool 360 images of the Taj Mahal in Google Arts and Culture. And, the clarity is brilliant. It's wonderful. My point, we can go to places in the world that we may never get to go to. And you could do a Google search and find pictures in that, but within Google Arts and Culture, it's the quality, the resolution, it really is, it's fantastic. Now, the second little point that I'm talking about right here, this one, you have access to museums, you have access to augmented reality, and I'm going to show you that in a little bit. The augmented reality stuff is so cool. You've got video in 360 degrees with people talking. You've got games. There's other stuff you can do. We're going to talk about the game stuff a little bit later. We're going to start with the stuff that you might actually use in your classroom. And the last 3 points. So this one, and this one. Sorry, that's a typo here. I don't know what I was thinking. Your students, but also yourself as a teacher, right? With some of the things you experience in Google Arts and Culture, you're opening your mind, you're building perspective, you're thinking in a different way, and you're learning about the world, but you're also learning about other things. I really appreciate the fine arts, visual arts, music, graphic design, but that's not what I'm good at, right? But I can appreciate it when I'm looking at these things. So the idea is we can open our minds. And again, there are some pretty fun activities. So actually, I've just kind of said what I'm talking about and what I'm going to demonstrate in a moment. I will have this slide deck shared with you. It's very short, actually, because today it's about a demonstration, right? So if you use this slide deck later, if you just mouse over these things or just do a Google search and find Google Arts and Culture, you'll get in there. So I'm just going to tap here and go into Google Arts and Culture. And Afik and Mima, Afik, you're moderating. So if you need to interrupt, please interrupt. Now, Google Arts and Culture has recently changed its landing page, the main page that you get to. And this is what you're going to see. They have a daily challenge kind of thing. I will do this right now. If you want, you can play. All right. So what came first, George Harrison or this architect? Oh, wait, let's continue. All right. Chariots of Fire, Jennifer Lopez. I'm saying Chariots of Fire. Oh, I got no points because I got it wrong. You don't actually have to do this. Let me hide that here. I think you were going to say something, or
Yeah, actually I am quite interested with the AR one, since what I know about the AR thing is like from the YouTube features. So is it the same thing like the YouTube AR, or is just like another kind of AR that we can use in learning?
wonderful question. They have AR they have 360 videos in YouTube, but they have AR as well, where you can actually zoom in and get up close to some things. So maybe we'll go to the AR before, the other stuff, because it really is cool. And I want everyone to stay in this session because I think there's a lot of neat stuff in here. But first, I just want to be clear with everyone. This is the landing page that you're going to get. You do not have to stay here. You can scroll down, look for some different things. And we're going to explore a bunch of these different things. This is a fairly deep dive of Google Arts and Culture. So you don't have to stay there. You can kind of scroll. I do want to point out, as I scroll up, right here in the top left, you've got what people often call the hamburger, right? And so if you click there, you can get not only the tabs that you have here on the right at the top, but you can quickly scroll down. Am I looking for an historical figure or an art movement or artists? We have visual learning educators here today. So there's a quick way just to go to boom where you want to go. I do encourage you to play around with arts and culture, this interface. It's pretty simple to use in terms of looking around for stuff, right? So just kind of play around. You've got your Explore tab. When you go into the Explore tab, you notice you've got the arrow right here. So we've got art camera, 360 videos. If you use the arrow, then it'll give you, a couple of more options. In this case, only one, the street view. Here with the different categories, again, same idea, but they have like different themes and things like that. If you scroll down, you can look for different ways to search for different ideas. We're going to go through this together. The Play tab here at the top, this is if you teach younger students. It is kind of fun for yourself, actually, as an adult to play with these things, but there are games that they can use. So if you're talking to an elementary school teacher where the children can use an iPad or they can use, like a laptop, tell them, hey, arts and culture has some cool stuff. We'll play with this stuff later. The next tab, nearby, this one right here, basically this is any museum that is registered with Google in your area is going to be listed here. So you see these little icons right there. Okay, I thought that was going to happen. If you see these little red icons, it means it's a museum or an art gallery or a place of learning. So just by clicking nearby, you're going to find different places that you can go, maybe take your students to learn. Maybe ask your students, hey, there's a museum 500 meters from the school. Go there, do your homework. This is your homework kind of thing. But just to let you know, it's there. I'm not coming back to this tab, so I just want you to know it's going to be there. Favorites we'll come to a little bit later, but I do want to show you that you can actually save things as you're searching through Google Arts and Culture. There's a little heart mark. This is for Mima, Afik, and everybody in Malaysia, because I love your country. There's a little heart mark, and if you click on that, it will send it to your favorites, and it automatically categorizes it for you. So these things are items, right? This is an example of an AR thing that Afik was mentioning earlier. These are stories where you tend to get a little bit more text, possibly good for research. And then you have different themes. We'll come to that a little bit later. And then other topics where you have photos and images and things like that. So if you click on the heart mark, it will automatically save it for you in your favorites, and it categorizes it. You can't change things. You can't move it around. And the good thing about that is you're not actually creating bookmarks and all that kind of stuff. Now, the galleries right here, these are all for images. So all you visual arts teachers out there and students who are visual learner, studying visual arts, or like me, if you're a history teacher and you want to use this stuff in your class, you can create a gallery and then share it with your students. I'll show you how to create a gallery a little bit later. So I'm going to take you back to the landing page and have a sip of water here. So I know you're all visual arts, or many of you watching today are visual arts teachers and or students. But since Afik was talking about the AR, I'm just going to go to my little search engine here. And if you noticed here at the top, in the top right, we've got that little magnifying glass, right? That's where we can search. It's a nice universal thing. So I'm actually going to search for some AR stuff. And I'm just going to type in AR. That's all I'm going to do. And I'm going to hit return. And right here at the top, there we go. I've got augmented reality stuff right there. So I'm going to tap on that. Now, there are different ways to find augmented reality. If you're searching for one topic or theme, they might have photos and paintings, but they might have video and augmented reality as well. So what you're about to look at here is not only in this one place, it's in different places in Google Arts and Culture. And I love that term, reality check. I think that's kind of cool. So if you scroll down here, and let's see. All right, so we've got architecture, we've got the art, the Mona Lisa, space, and animals. But I can scroll down and find a little bit more, right? Here, for example, you're looking at animals that lived millions of years ago. Here, we're looking at some bugs, insects that live today, birds. We'll come to this in a moment because I want to show you how this kind of works. But the point is that you've got all these augmented reality things that if you just play around, search, you're going to find something that you can use in your class. So I'm going to pretty much guarantee that. So let me start with something that's not going to freak everybody out. I'm going to choose history because I'm selfishly a history teacher. But let's go with the Berlin gold hat. This apparently comes from the Bronze Age. This is not the history that I teach. All right, so what you're seeing right now is once it's loaded, I can actually scroll around and look at it, kind of do this. Now, of course, this has a bottom on it, so you're not gonna see that. Ideally,
is that a hat?
Pardon me.
Is that a hat? It looks like an obelisk.
Yeah, it looks like an obelisk, but it's a hat. Yeah, it's a hat from the Bronze Age, right? If you look right here, it's from about 1,000 to 800 before Common Era. So we're looking at 3,000 years ago, right? So 3,000 years ago, some human being made this, but it gets even better, right? So we're looking at this way, and it's kind of cool where you can look at the top of it. But let's just zoom in a little bit more. I'm using my trackpad right now, and look at the quality of that detail. I mean, if you're, since I know we have a number of art teachers here, well, think if you're trying to inspire your students to be interested in art history, here's an example of something that you can use. And they always have some kind of description, right? And if I like it, here's my hard mark. I can just go, boom. I'm going to
another thing, Nate, is it in English, Nate?
That is the problem.
Is that in English? Can we translate it?
What you're going to have to do is go to change the, you're going to have to use Google Translate within your browser to translate the language, which is not perfect, but it will give you like the nuance or the ideas. So fundamentally, Google Arts and Culture is in English, but when you can change your language, not the settings in your computer, but the settings in Google Chrome, then you should be able to view it in other languages. But if not, copy that, paste it into Google Translate, and get the big ideas, the main ideas.
All right.
I hope that answered the question. So here too, you notice, and this, with everything in Google Arts and Culture, you're going to see the heart mark, you're going to see the copy the link, and then you're going to see the share button. So like anything in Google and other platforms, if you click copy link, down here, I've got my link copied. I can just email it or post it. But if you use the share icon, right, then you can connect to, different social media, but also Google Classroom. And if we have time a little bit later, I'm going to go into my school account and show you how you can connect arts and culture to your own Google Classroom. But if you tap on that, it's going to ask you to choose a class. I am in my personal account right now, so I'm not going to go in here and do that. But just to let you know, anything in arts and culture, when you see this share icon, you're going to be able to share that in Google Classroom as well as other social media. Let's see. Let me kind of go back to the top here. So that's an example of the AR stuff. There are many other examples, so I encourage you to explore and kind of play. I do want to show you that within, again, you as you search through Google Arts and Culture for different topics and themes, some things have photos and paintings and video and AR. Sometimes it's just photos, sometimes it's just videos, but you can do the search. And as you noticed, again, I'm going to my search bar here, right? We'll look at the other stuff in a moment, but I know that I want to find this thing called Sea Dragon. I'm going to tap on that. And so 360 videos automatically came up here. I'm going to scroll down and see if okay, so I've got my images that have some kind of connection with Sea Dragon. For some reason, it's not coming up here. Oh, there it is. It is right there. I knew what I wanted to look for, so I'm kind of, how do I say it? I knew what I was looking for, so that's why I did the search. But let's go back. Let's say you don't know what you're looking for. Go back to the search and 360 video, tap on that. And let's see what we get. All right, well, we got some stuff. Yeah, it's not so great. I'm not convinced with that search. That wasn't the best keyword. I'm just going to go right back to Google Arts and Culture, and I'm going to choose Explore one more time. The Explore tab is definitely the best place for you to go when you're starting out and you want to explore, when you want to look at different things and find different things. And you notice here I've got 360 videos. So I'm going to tap on that. And I'm going to look through, and I'm just trying to look at a few images, comments here. Yes, and a couple of people have mentioned we can look at stuff without actually having to go there. And that's the big point. Google is bringing art and culture from around the world right here on our computer, right? I'm going to scroll around, scroll down a bit. There's one at the top that I want to see, but I know Mima and I were talking, and she was saying, like, I want to see some cool 360 video stuff. So this is the one that I actually always use when I'm doing presentations, just because I think it is so cool. It really is. There's other cool stuff in there. Now, I'm not sharing my tab, so you're not going to hear the audio very well here. I'm going to turn that up, and let me scroll ahead. But what I will say is watch what happens to this dinosaur. And I can scroll around. Let me go here. Oh, no, I went too far ahead. So you're actually hearing the audio narration. And when we were playing with this earlier, we had the subtitles, but I'm just going to go in and I'm going to put the closed captions on. There we go. Watch with me here. So the water came in. Look at this thing coming to life. As I can scroll around as that is coming to life. Tell me that is not cool. Tell me that a young child in elementary school, or maybe grade 6 or
Wow.
7. Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool, right? I mean, this video,
Yes.
that video alone. Go ahead. Sorry, Mima.
I was like, yeah, you're looking at a skeleton, a fossil, then suddenly it becomes an animal, a live animal. What more do we want as a teacher to teach the students?
Absolutely. And it's just so cool to look at, right? I mean, here's one that, look at that. And it's in 360. Like, tell me a kid is not going to love that. I mean, I like it, and I'm going to be 50 years old next year, right? I mean, that's just really cool, right? But what I also want to show you is a couple of other videos. And what I'm going to do is actually go back in here. Just bear with me for a moment. Let's go with the Space Shuttle Discovery. Actually, that's the real link to the video. Let's scroll around. All right, go inside a space shuttle in VR. Look at this. How do you go to the toilet in space kind of thing, right? Let's click on this one. And let me tap
ahead. We'll be immersed in this.
Yeah, they are. But what I like about this one, and I apologize, when I was sharing my screen, I didn't use the Chrome tab, so you can't hear this very well. So these two NASA astronauts are talking about their experience in the space shuttle, but it's in 360 degrees as they talk. Note you get some, words here, right? So wait, I gotta I'm from Canada. That's kind of cool. That's the Canadarm. Just saying. Anyway.
Is that the subtitle? The one that I think is is in
this is in French
right?
at the moment, and I don't know why. I don't speak French anymore, so I don't know why that's there. But normally it'll come up in the language that you choose. I must have touched the wrong clicked on something incorrectly.
Okay. But
My
you're good in
usage-
Japanese.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, well, actually, I don't use Japanese because my students at school, we use English for teaching. But look at this. I mean, that's really, really cool, right?
Yeah, like the fact that the 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 I mean the videos is like really real, like even
Yeah,
It's
the
talking about
NASA
immersion,
supposedly
being immersed.
being
you
immersed.
and that's right. You're right. You're immersed, and this is again like, bringing the world to your classroom kind of thing. So that's a bit of AR. That's a bit of the video. Just looking at the different things to show everyone here because I know everyone's busy, and that kind of thing. I'm not right now, but I could do this for the next 2 hours. I think it's so cool. But I want to show you, especially knowing that there's a lot of art teachers here and students of art, some of the different things that exist. So with the Explore button again, or the Explore tab, sorry, when you look at the different categories, right? They're not quite themes, but they're categories. So let me go here. You've got places, historic events, art movements. Let's go with art movements because I know we have people that study and learn art here. So for myself, I have taught the Renaissance period and Renaissance art. So what I can do is click on this tab and go for A to Z and look at different. They'll have artist names like Rembrandt. So I'm going to go up to R, or it could be a time period, or it could be an art movement. Right here, for example, like what the Impressionism I think is up here. Let me go back to all though, and I'm going to go with the Renaissance. And here, if I click on read more, I'm going to get a little bit, but not much. Many of these writing captions are connected to a museum or they're connected to Wikipedia, right? But again, you can save it and then go back to it later. But the idea is that you've got some options. Now, these are stories, which means there is, a little bit more text. There's more stuff in it. So I'm going to go with The Art of Diplomacy. This is quite a famous painting, actually. Let's let that load. And as we scroll down, I believe that's Henry VIII on the left, and makes me like the ambassadors. Actually, no, it's not Henry VIII. Holbein, yeah. These were ambassadors, like traveling around. I remember teaching this. Note how, as I'm moving through, I'm scrolling right now. I'm using my fingers and I'm scrolling down. As we get to specific parts of the painting, right? It tells us a little bit more about that part of the painting. So this is about the painting itself and the artist looking at different aspects. This person is this person. I think that's pretty cool. And this happens not only for paintings, but for other things within Google Arts and Culture as well.
Nate, is it this kind of like features is only for the Renaissance? I mean, like this particular kind of pictures. I
Nope,
mean,
let's go back here. All right, so
is it,
a note
is
again,
it
I've got, go ahead, sorry.
so? What I think from your sharing just now is like, I think the Google Arts and Culture is like it's more um free to everyone. I mean, not only for the like the arts teacher, because for myself, I am going to be a language teacher, and I see this can help us to do some teaching in literatures and poems, since like every kind of the every part of the pictures are being explained in details in the pictures being given. So I think it's a good thing from Google.
I think the point that you're making is probably the most important point of this whole session. Other than, well, we're bringing the world together. We're learning perspective and learning about other parts of the world and that. But the point that you're making is that it's not just for people that
Yeah,
study the arts and people that study culture. It's for everyone, right?
yeah,
And
it's like giving the real world experience to the students,
yep,
like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And, I'm a history teacher. I teach individuals and societies, which is, it's kind of like social studies, but a bit different. Um, but there's so much stuff that I can use in my classes. I mean, we're looking at art right now. In fact, if I go back one more tab, we were looking at the Renaissance. Let's go with, I don't know, like the Baroque period, right? There's stuff in here that I can use when I'm teaching, within this period of history, even if I'm not teaching art. So look at all these options, right? Like these different. Well, okay, this goes back down to more art movements. So as an example, the Baroque period, there's not a lot here, right? So you might have to search elsewhere for other things. But the point is, yeah, this is for everybody. I'm watching the time here. I don't want to go on too long. But I'm going to go back to explore. Again, that was art movements. You could go to historical. Let's go to historical events, actually. So each one of these things, again, you can search, A to Z, and again, yes, in English. And then you can go by the time period, right? So the Ottoman Wars in Europe. This is one that I shared with a student of mine who is studying the independence of Greece, right? The Greek War of Independence. So he'll be able to find some stuff here for an assignment he's working on. But let's take something happier than war, if we can. Let's see. Who can call? Whereas, like, why is it? This is a problem with history. We have a lot of negative stuff. It's just like the news, which I read every day. But let's go with the Victorian era. Queen Elizabeth recently died, so this not necessarily a homage to her, but look at this. So we've got all these different photos that we can look at, or paintings from the Victorian period of British history in particular, which also includes British colonialism, as people in Malaysia would very well understand. So anyway, like let's say this image I want to know more about. Sometimes you're going to get a lot of detail, but if the person that took the photo and archived it, maybe you don't really have a lot of information. Sometimes here you're going to have a lot of information. Sometimes you're not going to have much, right? Photos from 1897, maybe not a lot of detail. Let me go back to the home here. Let me go back to the top, and I'm going to click Explore again, because I really want to show you all these different things. Google Arts and Culture is something you got to play with, right? So historic events, you might be able to, find some interesting images, photos, paintings, and that kind of thing. Historical figures, places, and that kind of stuff. If you keep scrolling down, you can explore by time period, by different colors. I'm not going to go into those right now because of time. Now here we've got themes, which I think is interesting, right? If note 2, if we click on View All, you click on that, and then it's going to take you to all of the different themes, or all of the different stories, or all the different things that are here. And what I like about this is it's not like a boring list with text. They actually have really nice images, kind of thing. So let me just kind of scroll down. Let's go. I'm going to go with women and culture. So this is a theme, right? And if you scroll through, you're going to see different, look, here's an online exhibit. So you're going to see women scientists from India, forgotten women scientists. Look at that, right? I'm actually getting my students to do this kind of thing in one of my classes. Here you can tell that, let's see, there's an exhibit, a lot of exhibits here. Healthcare engineering. So, maybe this is a device you can look at. My point is, through this, there might be videos, there might be AR things. You just have to scroll through and kind of play with it a little bit. There's just a little, look, there's Mary Curie, for example, right? Radioactivity and radiation, that kind of thing. If there are games related to women in science, they will appear here. So again, have a look, play around a little bit. Let's see. Let me go back to the Explore tab yet again. I do want to look at themes because I want to show you an example of the Palace of Versailles in France. Let me how do I now? Okay, I'm not going to do that simply because of time. Sorry, everybody. you just gotta play. You gotta look around. It's kind of cool. Let's see. Let me click here and Street View. Now, within Google Arts and Culture, you can get Street View views where you can actually move around. You can look at different things, right? This is like on your phone when you're using Street View that guides you to where you need to go. So, for example, must-see museums around the world. When you see this little yellow person, it's referred to as Peg Man. You see it on Google Earth and this and that, but let's go with Person of Peg. I want to scroll down though, because when I was playing around, Palace of Versailles I want to show you, but the Taj Mahal. I've been to India once before, and I really want to go back. I think it's a cool country, and I think Indian people are really nice. And I work with some Indian people as well, so they just confirm that Indian people are really nice. So if you look here, this is the Taj Mahal. And if you look from the side on the right, okay, see, I thought we can't scroll. If you can look at me kind of circling around here, that's kind of the fourth level that they're looking for from. Not necessarily the fourth floor, but if I click here, then I can get another view. Look at that. Isn't that brilliant? Look at that architecture. It's so cool. And there we go. We get my street view. If I click on that, it's going to take me to different places. And if I scroll around, okay, so I can go this way if I want, but hey, look at that. I'm in there. Isn't that awesome? Like I've been to India, but I haven't been to the Taj Mahal. So I get a chance to kind of see it, in this way. Let's see what it's like on the ground floor. The ground floor, look at that. I mean, that is just so interesting. And students can kind of get a better view of different things. You can even zoom in. Look at that. And again, because of the high resolution of the cameras that Google uses, it looks pretty good. I mean, it's not like being there, of course, but you got to admit it's pretty cool, right? All right, so I could scroll down a little bit more, but you get the idea, right? There's too much. I mean, 45 minutes is not enough time. I do want to show the favorites bit though. I think it's kind of important. So the favorites tab here in the top right, these are the things that I've saved. Stories, items, themes, that kind of thing. If I see something I like, I click the little heart mark and then it goes right here, as I mentioned before. The galleries are different though. The galleries are, really for photos. So let me go to explore. Let me go for, let's see, let's go with historical figures. Oh, look at that, Vladimir Putin. Sorry. I'm going to be teaching about Joseph Stalin, and I'm going to be teaching about Vladimir Lenin, actually. So let me click on that. I'm going to scroll down, and I see all these different images of Lenin. So I'm going to tap on that, and I'm going to click the heart mark, and note it said added to my favorites. I'm going to go back. Well, I can just scroll through kind of thing. If I want, I can just click go back. Maybe this is an image I want to use. Maybe my students are making a video or a poster or something like that. And so let's go now back to my favorites tab. Let's just do one more. Let's find one more image of Leonov Lenin here. Let's use that one. And I'm going to click my heart mark and save it. Now I'm going to my favorites. And so now when I click on Lenin, I've got all my items here, but Lenin comes right up. If I go to my galleries, I can scroll and yeah, Lenin should be there. Maybe it's a bit of a Wi-Fi connection or something like that. But what should happen is I'm going to see Lenin in there. He will appear in my gallery. Trust me, I probably have a Wi-Fi connection issue going on. I don't think it is, but anyhow, we'll not worry about that right now. As we close out here, because I know maximum time is an hour. People have, a lot to do, but I do want to show you a couple more things. And that's the play stuff. This tab right here with play, especially if you have young learners, it's a lot of fun. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Okay, I'm hearing some noise, so I'm going to kind of move on here. Again, Google Arts and Culture, you get your landing page right here. This stuff that you see as today's challenge is really in the play tab right there. So click on play, and you've got different things that you can do. You can explore the world through games. You can play around with music. I have to show you the Blob Opera. I think this is hilarious, but there are other music things where students can play around with melody. Music is culture, right? Let me tap on this real quick. Once it loads, okay, so that's a little bit of practice. Now I'm going to actually record me creating a song. Whoops. All right, let's see how that sounds.
I can't hear the music.
I know you can't hear the music because I'm not sharing my tab. I apologize. But basically, each one is kind of, each little blob is kind of singing something. But you can share it. You can actually save it, share it, to Classroom and things like that. I guess the point I want to make here is there's a lot of different games that you can use and you can play. There's drawing, there's pottery. You can see how Google Arts and Culture, this could be like a half-day workshop, right? I just wish I had more time because I really want to show you more stuff. I apologize for the audio, again, because I'm not sharing, my tab. But again, you've got games and playful things. Great for the younger students, particularly, I would say, in elementary school. When I'm kind of tired and bored, I do play around with these once in a while. I never save anything, but I do think it's kind of fun. I am going to just do one more thing. I'm going to add my school account here. And this will be the last thing because I want you to see that this actually works well with Google Classroom. And let me, oh, you know what? There might be a problem with the going across from, let me just see what happens here. I'm going to very quickly go, see, it's brought me into my own account. Let me go to my school account. Let's hope that works. Apologize for the technical, things here, but this is the way it goes sometimes when you're presenting. Okay, here's my school account. I'm going to go into one of my classes. Let me just go into the homeroom class, actually. And so let's say I'm in Arts and Culture, and I'm going to click Explore 360 Video. Let's say I want to share a video with one of my students. Let's not go with the toilets. Let's go with dinosaurs or something like that. I'm going to click on that. Wait, no, sorry. Actually, let's go with my favorites. Let's go with that. I'm going to choose something from one of my galleries. So here's Renaissance Art. Let's see, I could edit that, but let me click on this. Let's say I want to share this Renaissance art gallery that I made with my students. I can click on this and share it through Classroom this way. I'm not confident that it works very well. This is a very new feature, by the way, folks. I'm only going to copy the link. So I've clicked on my link and I'm going to go back to my my Google Classroom. This is very, very new, by the way. It only came out several months ago. And if you notice here, this right here, instead of just posting the link, I'm going to click my add-on and choose Google Arts and Culture. Now, the thing is, you should be able to search within Google Arts and Culture. Now, I've copied the link just to be on the safe side. But let's say I want to choose historical events. Let's see, I'm going to go with, let's say, the Cold War, because I will be teaching that. And you see here, I'm not seeing things that are really Cold War related. Okay, the Cuban Missile Crisis is. So I'm going to tap on that. And if this is what I want, if I know this is what I'm going to use, then I can click Attach. Otherwise, I might want to actually just click in the search bar and paste what I'm looking for. All right, I'm not getting my results. Let's do that again. Again, this is very new, right? So we're just kind of playing around with it. Okay, look at that. That's not giving me what I want. So I'm going to close that up and I'm going to go with historical events again. I'm going to go with, say, the Vietnam War. not the Cold War. I'll be teaching Vietnam as well. If I found something I want here, then I'm going to click on that. I'm going to click attach. Just wait. Hopefully it's going to work. My feeling is I've got some kind of Wi-Fi issue suddenly going on here. I apologize, everyone. This is also a new feature within Google Classroom. They have add-ons, and Google Arts and Culture is one. You have to talk to your IT administrator and get it activated. So you know what? I'm not going to spend time having you wait to watch that. So I apologize. I'm going to come back to this. And stop sharing my screen. I wanted to show you that in the end, and for some reason it's still not working. It's possible that because I have my private account and my school account open, that they're not speaking to each other. Sometimes that's the way it goes. I have used it in my school, and it does work. So trust me, please, it does work. Probably because I have 2 accounts open. And yeah, I've spoken a lot longer than I intended. I apologize, everyone, but thank you for being here, and thank you so much for inviting me. Mima, Afik, time spent with you was a great time. So thank you so much.
We love listening to you.
Yeah,
I talk too much. I get excited about these things.
Yeah,
Afik, your cue for a question.
Yeah, okay. For the question sessions, I think we have a questions mostly about the games part, since we in the institutions is specialty is for the elementary schools, so the games might be a very good advantage for us as we are moving to the digitalizations. So can you um share even more, like, something else about the games, maybe for the students, especially in the YouTube, uh I mean in the YouTube chat, even the students are more into the games actually.
Okay, let me share my screen because I thought I wrote it down here. There was a game I was playing earlier that I think is kind of fun. It's kind of a game, but not really a game. You'll see what I'm talking about. So if you can project my screen, that would be great. And I'll go right back into arts and culture. So if you can click so that everyone can see my screen, that would be great. Afik, you know how you had to project my screen and show me? I don't think people can see my screen right now. Within StreamYard at the bottom where you have to click, I can't remember the exact word, like allow, but in the middle. I'm trying to share my screen right now, but I don't think people can see it.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yep. If you do that, then I'm going to show a couple more things. If people want to stick around, because there's a lot of art teachers here, I think kids would like this. I used this for the first time a couple of days ago. I think it really is cool.
No. Presents.
Yep. Well, I'm sharing my screen. At the bottom, you've just got to click that. I can't remember exactly. It's you've got like another little pop-up thing, right? There we go. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. All right. So, okay. So here, all right. So again, if you're in the play tab at the top, right? Click on Get Creative. I mean, you can do testing your knowledge and music and that kind of thing. This one, you can try to draw, and what it does is connect your drawing to Japanese manga. That's not the one I'm going to show you. This one I think is like so cool. And I've only played with this once, to be honest with you. So I've clicked on it. I'm going to click on Play Game. And I'm going to click Start. Come on now. What's going on here? Come on, I was literally playing with this. All right, let me exit that. I'm going to try again. Load, play game, click start. There we go. All right, so basically if I want to replicate one of these jars, as you move on, it gets more difficult. So I'm going to choose this one. It says recreate this jar. So it shows you what it kind of looks like. I click let's go. And this is it. I use my cursor. Yeah, look at that. All right, so I got my hole, but now I have to sculpt. So I'm going to maybe right around here, I'm going to sculpt. I'm going to try to see how that looks. I'm not I'm using, see, I'm outside of it now. So when I come back in, I'm going to do that. Oh, that is so cool. Let's say I'm done. Like I know this isn't very good, but a kid would probably really enjoy it. So I'm going to add a handle. Boom. Continue without handles. No, I want to add handles. Okay, I lost my handles. I'm painting now. I got my paintbrush. You get the idea, right? So I could spend time just painting the whole thing, change the color, put that in, finish painting. Now it's being glazed and fired. So this is what it looks like. I can scroll around and kind of look at whatever I created. If I want, I can share it with the world, or I can sculpt a new one. And as you can see, I'm not very good at pottery, at least pottery online. And I have done pottery before in a place called Mashiko in Japan. It's totally cool. So that's one example. Again, you can save this. You can save the image that you made. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go back to play with music or explore the world. Let's go with this. There's different ones that you can use. There's Blob Opera. Let me geo artwork. I thought this was interesting because I was so bad at it. And again, I'm a history teacher, so this is one that I thought, it'd be kind of cool. So let me go with, because we have visual arts teachers and students here, let's go with sculpture. So I click on that. And so I'm looking at this sculpture and I'm clicking. Some of these you can click and drag and that kind of thing. You can click on learn more, tells you a little bit more. If you want to click on view on Google Arts and Culture, I'm not going to do that. I have to guess where this comes from. So I'm looking at this and I really don't know. And, you can see that the description is blanked out. Let me click the pin. You know what? I think it could be actually from Africa. It could be Asian, but now I'm going to go down here to where it says guess. Oh, look at that. It's from Mexico. So, it was Mesoamerican, right? Probably Aztec. Click the next round. I'll do one more. This actually looks like it might be. Oh, I don't know. Where could that come from? Could be Mesoamerican or maybe South American, but perhaps I'm going to go with maybe Mali. And I'm going to click guess. Look at that. See, I thought it might be Mesoamerican, and please give me some love here because I thought, oh, maybe it could be here. But see, I'm learning something. I realize, that, oh man, I think these things look like they might be from one part of the world, but they are not, right? Anyway, I'll stop there. There's a whole pile of different games, and it's good for adults as well as children. So like I said, I could do this for the next hour or two, but I'll save everybody the pain. Play with it yourself, everyone. This is Google Arts and Culture is a lot of fun. Play with it. Just scroll around. If you're sitting on the train and you've got your phone here, there's all you cool people actually commenting and that kind of thing. If you're on the train, download the Google Arts and Culture app if you have a phone and play around. There's cool stuff.
Okay, thank you, Nate. I think you are ready, not ready, but are you ready for the next question? It's just like a simple question with which is the Google Arts and Culture can be used to do the digital projects since we have seen that the digital the features in the Google Arts that you have presented just now is can be integrated in the Google's application. So is it it can be more usable for user friendly and some kind of that.
Okay,
Whatever.
so Google Arts and Culture, I think right now is user friendly because it's easy to navigate. It's easy to find things, I think. However, let's say students are creating their own project. Google Arts and Culture will give you lots of ideas for images and videos and things like that. If you want to make your own thing, then you're going to have to download the image. Like, for example, if your students are making a video, but let's say it's a documentary video where they're just showing images and using their voice narration, a voiceover, right? They can go to Google Arts and Culture and find the images, but they have to make something else separate. So you can't really, other than the game stuff, you can't really build anything in Google Arts and Culture. I think that would be the next level for Google Arts and Culture, to be able to make something within it. But at the moment, you can't do that. But it is a stepping stone. It's a place to get inspiration and ideas and resources for whatever students are going to create. I hope that answered the question.
Yeah,
I was about to ask the same question because now we are using Google Arts and Culture not as a creator, but rather than as a user.
Well, that's it. And Google Arts and Culture very much is, aside from some of the game things where you can download the pictures that you draw or the music that you make, it really is a user-based platform. But if more people use it, then Google will invest more money in it and develop it. With Google applications, whether it's Docs, Drive, Sheets, Expeditions Pro, you name it, whatever Google has, everyone watching, sometimes you see a little question mark or a button that asks for feedback. Google engineers and managers look at that feedback monthly. They do look at it. So if you all went to, if we, not just you, not just you, if we all click on that, button and say, you know what, Google Arts and Culture is cool, but I want to make things with it. If enough people actually say that, they will listen. And it might take 2 years, but they will develop it. This is something that people at Google actually do, and I know it for a fact. I've been to Google offices and met a lot of people from Google. They do listen to user feedback, but they act on the stuff that most people want. I think a
yeah,
creation tool, would be good.
yeah, I agree that like everyone's given the chance to contribute for the Googles, since the Googles are like the biggest platform for all to like study and learning, and it become the basis of our uh, platform study for now. And I believe that in a couple of years that Google will develop more, and it will be exciting to be to see like all the stuff that people students around the world create and
Mhm.
being um, uh, exhibit in the Google Arts, and it will become a new kind of era for the Google Arts and Cultures actually.
I think you just had a great idea, and you should pass this on to Google. Why don't you take artwork that students around the world, especially students, right? Google for Education would love it. Students around the world create an archive of student work from around the world. That's a great idea, and that's your original idea. So you should actually post that in Google Arts and Culture where they ask for feedback. If you don't, I will, but I'll give you credit.
Of course. I just thought about it before, and I think it's a good thing since just like last semester we're studying of like digital course, and we're connected with all students around the world, and I have been connected with friends from Japan, from Jordan, and all peoples around the world, and I think it's becoming a global collaborator
Oh
is a
yeah, yeah.
is a new is a new thing, and I think it is really important for students since we are in the new era of study educations, and I think it's a good thing to do.
Yeah, and you know what? I just thought of this now, but I'm also an Adobe education leader, and because we have visual arts students and teachers here, and something I love about Google is that when Google educator groups talk about other companies and products, they don't get mad. They're fine with it. They think it's good. I do believe Google for Education and really does focus on, the education as well as promoting Google products. But the Adobe Creative Educator program I think is really good. There's a lot of cool Adobe tools that educators can use for their visual creations, particularly the digital creation. But I thought you made me think of that, so that's why I put that out there. And I know I'm not going to get in trouble from Google for saying that because they're cool.
Yeah, I agree with that, Nate. Because I'm using Google as if I'm using my everyday tools. And then you add on to whatever that you have in Google application with something that will fit in your needs for instance, in creativity or in arts. So I'm very okay with having to learn and be certified in other applications.
And that's a nice thing. Google is fine with that too, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I think the people that lead Google for Education, I mean, I don't know them obviously, but they've got that idea that it's not all Google. It's like teachers are going to use whatever tools help their students learn. And
Yeah.
it's not just Google, it's a whole pile of different stuff that's cool. And that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, agree with you.
Yep.
And talking about what Afi has said just now, he actually can join us because that is actually what the project that we are talking about at the end of this session. I'm offering because I'm actually we are the students here. We are putting up a virtual art gallery.
Oh,
And
that's awesome.
every time when the students complete one artifact, they will put it in the gallery, and at the same time the galleries will be connected to their studio, and in that studio they will carry out teaching and learning sessions. These teachers here, the audience with us today, they have their own art gallery in the form of Google slide, and also the studio also in a form of Google slide but using the Bitmoji. You see, the idea of creating libraries, they have been doing that for the past years, but now we are concentrating on the art gallery because in their lessons, they will have a part where they need to appreciate the arts, the artifacts. So we are teaching, we are actually opening to schools, and also we would love to have global collaboration from other countries.
And I mean, like I think Mima, we've talked about this before a couple of times actually through the GEG Asia Pacific group. Send me an email with direct links, and I'll put stuff out because I think collaboration would be great. But it could begin with, hey, these are what my students are doing, and students at my school, join us. When people see an example, they'll understand what the point is, right?
Yeah, and I'm showing you the example here.
Site, yeah.
We call this as an art gallery for GEG Petaling Jaya, and we're putting it as a Digasa. Digasa is in Malay actually. It's about digital art gallery, globally connected. So the icon, the logo is about connecting masterpieces from all around the world, and the students are also creating craft work and I think doing a sculpture based on the Malay culture, and we are putting that up, and they will be asking you of how to put them into like what you have showed just now, like the vase, putting in them the 3D, and we are going to put that into the art gallery on the podium.
Different ways to do it, but that's another conversation.
So we should have another session, right? So these are all what the students have been doing. this is the art gallery of the future teachers. And we are also not limiting ourselves to Bitmoji. We are also doing it with avatars like the one that we found in Zepito. And one of the example would be from Alia, I think. So this is the one that she's been doing. I'm not
that's
sure.
cool.
Yes, okay. So every time when they complete one artifact, they will put it up into these galleries.
Oh, that is so cool.
We are actually, and this is her studio. She's doing studio. I think she'll be completing it later. That's why we need to have this session with you, since we would love to know what are the things or the activities that we can put into the studio. So
you know what? I think with Google Slides is great, and sites and that kind of thing. But I do have another idea that I'll share with you when we have a chance to talk.
Yeah.
I do have an idea.
Okay, thank you, Nick. But that is the one that I'm offering. So probably because we need to start somewhere, probably I will put in a link to a Google form because I need to open the gallery to individual emails. So maybe we can talk. This is something that I would really love to complete, and I would really like to have Afik to come in.
Okay, if I can help, I'll help. Also, talk to GG Global. They might be able to spread the word and kind of get people in. So and of course, GG Asia Pacific, right? Hey, man, that's where our hearts are. I love GG in Japan, but APAC, that's where my heart is as well. So.
Okay, so thank you so much, Nate. So over to Afik. We really love this session. I think all of you here, all my students here, the pre-service teachers, can you give a heartful applause through the, what do you call that, Nate? I'm not really sure.
I'm watching right now.
For such,
thank you, everyone.
I think such a very awesome session with Nate. Okay, so over to you.
I get excited and I go do a lot of different things. I apologize, but please reach out to me. I'm at Nathan Gildart on Twitter. I'd love to talk to you.
Yeah, they are in. Yeah, Afik is following, and there's so many people here following you, Nate.
And I will follow you back, and let's have a good conversation about learning and teaching and that kind of stuff.
Okay, so Afik.
Okay, such a spectacular and interesting talk from Nate just now. I am very amused and enjoying these sessions, and I have acknowledged so many things from him just now. Since what he just do just now, I am following him, and I am opening a new tab, and I just scrolling around with the Google Arts Culture, and I found the Google Arts and Culture is a good features, and honestly, this is my first time knowing of the existence of this Google features, and I think it is really good advantages for not only for the arts students, but it came with the advantage and benefits for all of us for the education's fields, and I think it is a great a great things from Google again, and I hope everyone is feeling the same and has obtained a lot of benefits from Nate's sharing. So thank you again. And now we're going to welcome Madam Mima for to give her thoughts.
No, I would I just informed you or described the project before this. That's why I gave it to you. But I don't mind thanking Nate again for such a great session, for being so sporting. This is my first time carrying out one webinar like this with Afik. And Afik is also his first time. And Nate is such an easy person to deal with. So without realizing, we are in our second hour, and we don't mind because actually because we don't feel it. We don't feel that it's too long for us. We are wanting more. Hope that we have other sessions with you, Nate. And I really hope that we can continue. I and my students will be able to continue with the Global Gallery, Art Gallery.
Good luck with the Global Gallery. Any way I could help, I definitely want to. And just for everybody watching, especially your students, Mima, when you invited me to speak today, it wasn't like, will I not? It was like, when can we do it? Let's get a date that works.
Yes, you are right.
I have so much respect for you, Mima, and I really appreciate you inviting me. And Afik, it was wonderful to meet you today for the first time, and I hope we get to continue to talk and keep the conversation going. And everybody viewing as well, let's keep the conversation going, right? Our greatest resource really is each other. So, thank you for having me today. And Mima, thank you so much for inviting me. And yes, let's do this again.
Yeah. Okay. For another thing, probably for Expedition Pro or 360 video, you're the man, right?
Expeditions Pro just came out several months ago. I'll stop there. I definitely want to do some VR and 360 stuff.
Yeah, because this is an opportunity to learn when we force ourselves to do something together. So we are forced to learn. Right. Okay, so again, thank you, Afiq.
Thank you to all our speakers today, and thank you for everyone that attending this session. So we have reached the end of our session today. So I would like to thank everyone for your commitment and cooperation. So hopefully we can work together again for the next future collaborations. So may all who watch from the beginning until the end of these sessions will gain benefit and gain new knowledge tonight. So last but not least, I hope everyone enjoys the rest of the webinar today. So see you soon and have a very nice day, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. And I love Malaysia.
Yeah, we're gonna love Japan too.
Yeah, and Japan I love too. Japan's a great place.
Okay, bye.
Bye, everyone. Hope to see you in Malaysia.